I wanted to show you the coop that I built for my homestead. It's quite different than my fully automatic one in San Diego, but it has some pretty cool features that I'm really happy with. One of them being that it's built out of logs that I harvested from my woods right here while I was building my silvopasture. The little run on the outside, all the posts, even their ladder, I used a chainsaw to build it out. And this is gonna last for a really long time. So the only pieces that I had to actually pay for was the plywood and the roofing material. The run itself is 12 foot by 8 foot, I believe. And for these posts, what we did is we just drilled down with an auger and then set these posts down in, took a chainsaw, we got everything level and everything. So this is 1-inch mesh on this. And if you've got a problem with maybe cats or raccoons trying to reach in there and grab your chickens, or if your chickens are gonna stay in a run like this 24/7, I'd go down to a 1/2-inch mesh to prevent that from possibly happening to you. For me, because they're free ranging and then they're sleeping inside of this coop, which is totally enclosed, and nothing can reach in to grab them, I just went with 1-inch, which is a little bit cheaper. And then I got a hen gear nest box. So the chickens come in here, they'll walk inside and sit in this lower part here, lay the eggs, and then they roll on back. So it makes it really easy to collect. Or if let's say I leave for a couple days, the eggs can just pile up there and I can come back and collect them. I've got a little discount code for hen gear if you wanna get something that they have. You can totally custom build a rollaway nest box. It takes a little bit more skill than just putting 2x4s together because you got to build it at the right angle and all of this, but it's totally doable. It would be a lot cheaper than purchasing one, but if you'd rather just save the time and just buy something and it's made from aluminum and it's easy, I highly recommend that brand over all the other ones because they actually are farmers themselves. So we're just using these waterers for now. I should set up an automatic waterer with nipples like I did in San Diego. And I do recommend the nipple waterers over the cups now that I've seen both of them and how they work. The nipples are just superior. So then on the inside, the roost bars are just some logs once again. And the only time I would do a rounded one like this is if it's super big diameter. These are 4 or 5, you can go up to 6-inch diameter. You don't want to use, I don't like little oak dowels that are like 1-inch to 2-inch. This just gives them a larger platform to sit on. I think that that's a bit better for their feet. Me and my friend, he helped me build this. You can see that, we just put some 2x4s there, rested them on, and I drilled down from underneath to connect it. This is the roosting bar that I was talking about. So you just, I got to clean some of the poop off, but at night you stick it there, and then I haven't been using this the last few days, so if you don't do that, they'll put a bunch of poop on that, so that's why it's important to always close that. And then the little wire just runs up to the solar panel, just like that. And I've had this coop go through winter, through summer, so the heat's obviously not gonna be a problem. They've got, even if they stay within this run, they have total shade. And then in the winter, you'll notice that I have a screened bottom like this, and I did this because I didn't want to have to clean things out. This is a bit away from my house, so if I do want to make compost, I would just clean this out probably once a year or something, collect it all, make a pile right here, and then I'd be able to move the compost out. But that wasn't sort of my main purpose with this coop as it was for my coop over in San Diego. That I really relied on that compost for my market garden. Whereas this I have a lot more other choices because I have sheep bedding and I'm making compost at the top near my garden where you should be making your compost very close so you can take it and then go use it right away. But between Korean Natural Farming and Jadam, I have enough nutrition and the compost that I bought in to create all my garden beds. I don't need a ton of extra compost at this point. So that's why I went with this style. So, maybe every month or so I might knock some poop off. It kind of piled up a bit over there. But for the most part, once it dries especially, it just falls right through. And then my ladder's all set up here. I just took a chainsaw and cut out pieces and little things so their claws could grab. I did put a door on this, so if I ever wanted to close it, I could. I don't, and even in winter I didn't. In winter we went down to about single digits with this coop, and what I did, just extra precaution, I did put down a layer of plastic at the bottom of the mesh there just to help insulate it more so any drafts couldn't come through. And I left this door open and they totally were fine. I also had about probably 20 chickens at that time in here. So this coop is set up to be a free range coop. Back in the day when I built my San Diego coop, these little doors didn't exist. I had to buy some things off eBay. I had a solar charger and controller and all that and set it up. But these all run off of batteries now, so it's incredibly simple, cheap and easy. This one's from Chicken Guard. I'd say this brand or another one called Run Chicken are the best brands that I'd recommend. And I have a discount code for both of those companies. Check that out if you're interested in this, but it just opens on a sensor, closes at night so that they can free range. In the morning, they leave. At night, they come in and they have all of this to free range, acres and acres. So, you know, that's my ideal. I like them to naturally go out and get the food that they know that they need, in addition to the fermented feed that I give them. And all of these chickens right here were raised Korean natural farming, even my rooster. So they were trained on brown rice and bamboo leaves or grass in order to train their gut to be extremely efficient. It's a really fantastic system to raise healthier chickens. You know, I make my own ferments for their feed. I give them probiotics, extra minerals, and all of this. This is something that I get into in my chicken raising course that I made for my website. And there's a link down below if you want to go check it out. More information about what's in it. If you want to take your chicken raising to the next level, you can learn how to do incubating eggs, fermenting this feed, doing the Korean natural farming, raising them to adults. All sorts of different topics are covered in that. So you're also going to get help from me. If you ever have any questions, you write a little comment and then I respond to you. So we've had a lot of fun in that class. Learning a lot more stuff and getting better at raising chickens. So if I was gonna upgrade this thing further, one of the upgrades I used to do was a dry feed auto feeder, which is fantastic, but I really prefer to ferment my feed nowadays because I'm not running a market garden. I have more time to screw around with stuff like that. The nutritional content's so much better in a fermented feed because the microbes and the water is unlocking more nutrients. It becomes more digestible. And I find that because the water's in there, the birds don't have to drink as much water to help their digestion. It helps keep them cooler in summer, and that goes for meat birds as well. The one upgrade I do want to add to this is I could add a little rain gutter and a barrel and then a nipple system water, just like you saw on my San Diego coop. That's just a really fantastic upgrade that has stood the test of time for me that I really enjoy.